see somebody is waiting. Oh, they left. Okay. Ooh. I was a bit early today. I'm so excited to meet with everybody again. And so I couldn't wait. But I see nobody's here yet. Oh, there's someone. Wherever you are, I don't see any messages. But welcome. We are working on the bunting. Good morning, Grace. It is 6 o'clock in the evening. What time is it on your side? So when I work on things like bunting or things that I repeat, I like to do batch sewing. So I literally just add them in as I go on the one side, and then I will turn it around and do the other side. And yesterday somebody contacted me and said, listen, I like your thing, but who are you? So let me introduce myself quick. 11 a.m. It is 11 a.m. I'm in the sewing room for the next 3 hours. Oh, nice, Grace. That's going to be fun. You're working on your Valentine's dress. I remember that. So anyway, I'm Katinka, I'm the seamstress at the cottage, and we do sewing over here. And the purpose of these live sessions is to prepare for Valentine's Day. I'm going to have a picnic with friends, and for that reason I need a few things for the picnic, and one of them is bunting. So I'm just sitting here and sewing it up. Oh, the dinner was such a success last night. We made, like I said, I made the potatoes and the veggies and a brisket, and the guests enjoyed themselves immensely. So much so that my sister and I was at one stage almost falling asleep before the guests left. So it was like, oh, I wish they would go home now, I'm tired. But it was really such a lovely evening. And this morning, we all went for a cold, we first did the park run and then we went for a cold plunge. As you can see, good morning, Diane. I'm a bit red. I forgot to put sunscreen. But I'm not sore because I have been taking a very good omega vitamin D combination. Telling me again, I have prepared the potatoes in the air fryer. I missed part of it yesterday. Oh, okay. So I buy about half a pound is, oh, I buy, it's a pound of baby potatoes. So you know those small ones in the skin. Then you just scrub them with a brush to get them clean. Then you put them in a bag with salt and a bit of, about maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or 3 or 4, depending on how much olive oil you like. And then I shake them. And then you pour that into your air fryer. Just with your air fryer, I don't use a liner in my air fryer, I just use it like that. And then I put it in for, I put it in for 25 minutes, and if I need, then I put it in for 5 more minutes. But on the other hand, I think that type of potatoes can actually go as long as they want. The longer they go, the softer they get. And then I go and fetch some rosemary from the garden, but I know on your side it's winter, and I don't know if you have your rosemary still alive, because I know rosemary don't like frost, but you do find them in the shops. So you put some fresh rosemary, about 2 or 3 twigs of rosemary, about this long, in with the potatoes, and then just every 10 minutes you just take 2 spoons and you just mix it. And you can, if you see they get a bit dry, you just put a bit more olive oil and a bit more salt, and then you serve it like that. It is so nice. Oh yeah, my mouth is watering at the moment. And then we had the roast veggies with that, and the roast veggies, I just take some like butternut and baby marrows. You can put what do you call this, sweet peppers. Oh, okay, great. See you just now, Diane. So you can put some sweet potatoes, and I like, what else did I have in there? I have put broccoli and cauliflower, but I don't really like that. If you have root vegetables, I find they get really crunchy, and I don't like crunchy broccoli. That's not fun. So I would suggest put the broccoli and the cauliflower in a bit later, and then again just some olive oil, salt, and I love using rosemary with it, fresh rosemary. And then you just put them in either the air fryer, also about, in the air fryer it's about 30 minutes. And in the convection oven, it takes about, how long? About an hour. And it gives you the nicest roast veg. And you can put some whole, if you like garlic, I love garlic. So you put whole cloves of garlic in there. Oh, it's divine. And then it gets buttery, and you can like squash it with everything else. Oh my gosh, it was so nice. And like I said, we had brisket and grilled rotisserie chicken. My sister got, because we realized, we invited some more friends, and then we realized there's not enough meat, so we just went and we got a rotisserie chicken, and another friend brought us some salad. And then we had some mango, just fresh mango cut up in pieces for pudding. And I love simple meals like that. It doesn't take forever to make, and it really is healthy and yummy. But back to the sewing, I just want to sew them all on the one side. I'll do this like this. Somebody asked me about the bunting, I can't remember, I did read the comments and I totally forgot. And they asked me, how wide do I make it? So this is before I sew them. So usually I make them a bit wider, but yeah, I just cut these this size. You just see, I can see there's a message. See, who is it? Oh, okay, it's not a problem. So let's measure these. They are 5 inches wide, and then the longest point is 7 inches. So I like this length for bunting, unless you're lazy and you want to make them bigger, you can, but I like these ones. They actually give me a very nice bunting. Oh, sorry, what's wrong with the color now? So yeah, and then I space them. If I space them, I space them. If it's, so this one, when it's finished, it's going to be about 5 inches wide. No, yeah, 4 and a bit inches wide on the top. So then I would space them 4 and a bit inches apart. And what I do is I take, where is my ribbon? Let me just get it quickly. Oh, there it is. I just take whatever ribbon I have. Now, long ago, a place that made ribbons and tassels and stuff closed down in my town, and I just got tons of the ribbon for really, really cheap. So I know this is not ideal because it's a bit see-through, but it's not a problem. Then what you do is you take your bunting, you're going to sew the sides, flip it out and iron it flat. And then you take your bunting and then you sew it down on the ribbon, and then you just fold the ribbon over and sew it down. Or you can, if you're really lazy, you can just fold it over and sew it in there from the start. But I prefer to do it, sew it down and then sew the next, sew it down like that, because I find I can handle it better. But with this bunting, I have all these doilies. So it's a fabric that I don't really like as a doily. So some of them are really thick, because I've got like a whole crate full of doilies. Because at one stage I used them in my clothes that I made for my shop. But these ones, you can see it's not a good quality crocheting thread. So I'm just going to use them in between. But the big ones, I feel they're a bit big. Let's have a look. Maybe they're not. I think you can get away. No, I don't like it that big. So I think I'm going to go have them half, maybe like that. I'll have a try and see. Before I will cut them all in half, but before I go any further, and then I will just have a flag with the flowers facing, and then a flag with the stripes, and then just alternate between all of them. But look at all these beautiful doilies that I have, and I love this one. These ones are really pretty. I like that color. So I'll just cut them in half. Maybe I'll starch them before I'll use them. Yeah, I think they're really pretty. Or, no, that's too much work. I'm just going to cut them in half. Actually, I'm just going to cut them in half. And when it's smaller ones like this, I might just cut off the top part and put them in like that. Or just fold them over and sew the ribbon on. This one is, so this one has got better quality cotton, as you can see there. But these are like that funny cotton, so they're just going to be used. This one is broken, so I'm just going to fix it up and use that. But this one I'm not going to use. I like to use that in clothes. And then I've got these ones. Okay. Oh, thank you, Diane. And there's this one I will also do just like that, and this one will also be like that. This I will cut in half. So yeah, I've got quite a lot. And then at one stage, a friend of mine inherited the tablecloth from her from her husband's mother-in-law, so her mother-in-law. So I made her a little jacket out of the tablecloth, because she was never going to use the tablecloth. And then I still have some of the scraps left over. So I'm just going to cut them up into flags and zigzag them around and add them in on the bunting as well. Let me just put my sound off. Somebody is really trying to get hold of me. Oh, it's my friend. She's busy with her, just put the sound off. With something, and she's sending me all these screenshots of stuff. Okay, so let's continue making this one that I used part of it for something, and I have this over. So usually I overlock, but at the moment my overlocker, so I'm in the new place, as you can see. Grace, I sent you on the school community, I sent you some pictures of the Yorkies. I hope you got them already, because they were so cute. Oh, they're adorable. So I'm in the new place, and that's why the light is a bit funny. And there's lights here that I can put on, but I can't find out to switch them on. I think they work on the remote. And that's part of the problem when you house sit. I love house sitting for people, and I love bed sitting, but it's just the inconvenience. And I thought they would have an iron. Yay, welcome back, Diane. But there's no iron or ironing board. So tomorrow I need to do some driving around and fetching paperwork for my sister, and then I'll just stop at home because it is kind of, it's a bit out of the way, but not exactly. So I'll stop at home and just go and get some, I've got one of those filled up. No, Ethan, no, don't do that. In the big Alsatian, he's standing crying there because he wants me to come and sit on the couch with him. So I'll fetch my ironing board and my iron and just put them on the counter over there. But yes, we're working on the little flags. And I like to do batch sewing, where I just add them all and sew all of them in a row. And then afterwards, we'll do the other side. So Grace, you are working on your Valentine's dress. Diane, are you working on something fun, or are you having a day of just relaxing? It is Saturday, you know. I was very tempted to put up a movie and also just relax. But you know what? It's such a privilege. It's so much fun to just sit here and sew. I'm really actually enjoying it because there's windows that I can open in my sewing room. I only have the vents that makes such a racket. So I love the silence here. I really love the silence. So this morning when we went for the park run, it was so misty. You couldn't see. You could see the people in front. You know, like the movie Gorillas in the Mist. It was literally like that. There's quite a lot of people on the. Go and Google the Blauberg park run. Somebody said to me it was voted the best park run in the world last year. So you literally just walk 2.5 kilometers on the beach one way and then 2.5 kilometers back. And there were always people. There were at least maybe 500 people walking the park run. Some of them were running and they were actually really serious about it. But we call it park talk. So I sometimes sprint just because I can, and I find it really is good for my body. But I'm not very fast, so Michelle. Oh, okay. Oh, it was Michelle who asked for the measurements. Awesome. Thank you for measuring the doilies. Oh, lovely. With a cute idea. Thanks for inspiration. Welcome, Michelle. So yeah, I like to just sprint a little bit because I find that also gets my joints going. And then afterwards, so we did the park run, and then we wanted coffee. Now, you have the park run at the one side. It's like the main beach. What did I call it? Sunshine Beach? No, something else. Maybe it is Sunshine Beach. I can't remember. And then it's literally not even a kilometer. There's a place called Ons Huisie. Google that too. It's the most amazing bay. So it's this little bay in Blauberg. And then if the tide is high, there's some of the houses which got a retaining wall where the tide washes up against it. But then on the other side, but this bay have like rocks that forms a natural protection. And even if there's big waves on the outside, most of the time you can swim there. And it doesn't make real waves. It just goes like this. Let me just quickly see here. I've got a message here. Okay, no, it's fine. And so we went there for our cold plunge. The water was 14 degrees today, Celsius, which is not too bad. I can live with that. And we were in it. Usually I only do 20 minutes because if the water is so cold, you kind of can get hypothermia if you're not careful. And my hands and my feet get really, really cold to the point where they white. So we were floating around and swimming, and a friend of, we were 4 of us, and there were more of us walking the park walk, but there were 4 of us swimming. And we were floating and swimming and just going up and down and talking and praying, and it was just such a special morning. And then afterwards we went for coffee. So if you walk down the road a little bit on, there's this small little coffee shop, but they make the best coffee. Oh, it's such a nice coffee. So we had cappuccinos, and then I had to come to this house to come and babysit. And then my friend, the one from Joburg, she forgot her handbag in my car. my sister was going to take her to the airport, and so I had to rush home to take her handbag back. So she said, you know, you can just mail it, but the reality is, if I have to mail it, then I have to go and get to the place from where we can do like door to, not, yeah, it's like we've got a shop called Pep to Pep, and it's quite a mission, you know. You have to go and then you have to make the parcel, and this was much easier than doing that. So I said, no, I'm through and I'll quickly drop it. And when I did that, I also fetched my doilies because with having the supper last night and all the people there, it got really late and I was really tired. And then this morning, I did get up at 6. I wanted to get up earlier. But on the side where my sewing area is, my sister is sleeping there at the moment because we had our friend staying over. And so I didn't want to wake her. So at 6 o'clock, no, just after 6, I walked in and I had to fix something. You remember that jacket I made of the last live sewing adventure? So it had tulips on it and it's beautiful, but I wore it once and I hated it. I really didn't like it. So my friend fell in love with it, and so I gave it to her, but it didn't have buttons, and we were talking, she had it on and showed me, and I said, no, I think this really needs buttons. So I quickly put some buttonholes and made some buttons. Sewed some buttons on, and then I started packing because we had to be at the park run. So now this is like, we had to leave at 7:30 to get to the park run. And I had to pack for getting after the park run is on this side of, so this house is on the side of the park run, and we live on the other side of the city. So it's quite a drive, it's not too far, it's like 30 minutes, but still. And so I packed beforehand, but I forgot that. I forgot my tape measure, which is always a disaster. And I forgot my arthritis tablets, which at the moment with everything flaring up, which is much better, by the way, thank you for all your prayers and good wishes and everything. I don't want to take chances, so I went to fetch that quickly, dropped my friend's handbag, and then I came through and I just sat on the couch, did a bit of doom scrolling, had some supper, and now I am sewing with you guys. So we've done all of them. They now form a nice row like this, and now we're just going to sew the other side. Am I missing your? No. So Diane, I forgot to ask, did I ask you? Let me just see. Did I ask Diane? Oh, Diane was having a phone call. Are you sewing, Diane and Michelle? Are you making anything today? Or are you all just visiting? I think I need to move. Oh, that's working. So, my glasses, this is for my computer. Here I see really well. But anything from there and further gets really blurry. So when I'm sewing, I'm here, and then if I have my glasses on, I can't see. But if I want to see you guys, then I need to have my glasses on. So we're going to just move the sewing machine. It's actually working. Look at that. I should have thought about this earlier. Oh, they're all sleeping. So I think when I do this, I'm just going to cut them. Otherwise I'm going to struggle to align them. Yay, Diane, you have your grandsons. And they spent the night, might sew later, if I get them home before it gets dark. Alexander, Rose, hi, lovely to see you. Oh, have you been sewing? So Alexandra left on our school community that it's raining over there and it's quite a miserable day and windy. So she is sewing and using up her scraps. What were you making again, Alexandra? Totally forgot, sorry. Grace is working on her on her Valentine's Day dress, and Diane has her grandbabies visiting, so she's hoping to sew later on. I haven't heard from Michelle what she's making. Oh yay, I'm so happy to hear that the sun has come out. I'm working on the bunting. So it's really a productive visit here today. Oh yes, you said you were making some knickers with modal fabric scraps. And then you were going to make a t-shirt, if I remember right. I love making knickers. It's such a nice scrap buster. Oh wow, Diane, you have sunshine. Supposed to hit 50 degrees Fahrenheit on Tuesday. I hope so. I want to melt some of the snow. Yeah, you have had a lot of snow this season, I think. Is it normal to have so much snow? Okay. I also like to sleep in comfy knickers at night. I actually need to make some more sleeping knickers. Because I find the bought ones, I don't know, they're just not the same as the made ones. The made ones really sleep nicely in. And I like to use viscose lycra. It's so nice and cool and comfy. Jaden Seymour, good morning. While I'm earning extra funds for sewing hobby, Miss Grace, I did sew yesterday, but on, oh, this is Grace. This is also Grace. Grace Seymour. Yesterday, but one of stopped by my house yesterday for a couple of hours. We read the pattern together. Grace, that sounds like so much fun. I love it when my sewing friends come to visit. Oh, I forgot. I actually need to do a sewing class again with all my sewing students. So great. And some winters we don't get enough to cover the grass. Then every 3 years or so we get some good snow. Yeah, we need some good snow this season, this winter, for the mountains. We don't get it close to the coast, but the mountains get covered in it. And then it's so cold when that wind blows, but it's just, I love it. I know I'm going to be cold this winter in my sewing space. There is insulation, but I was not able to really put heating on because there was not good ventilation. But this year, I will be able to put a gas heater. Oh, it's lots more than usual, but we do get this once in a while. Okay. And with the gas heater, firstly, I was able to put an electric heater, but it was just so expensive. And so I am saving up to get a nice gas heater. I would love a little wood burning stove in there. Oh, that would be so nice. But that's not practical. So I'm just going to get a nice gas heater for the winter. And then I should be fine this year. And I love wearing my wool jerseys in winter. Because now that I'm on this side of the world, I don't always get a chance to wear it. And in my sewing area, it's just perfect. Viscose lycra. Actually, it depends on what you like. Viscose lycra is a bit slippery. So actually the cotton knit is your best, if you can get good quality cotton knit. But modal is also fine. Actually modal is viscose lycra. Most modal is a viscose. It's also made out of wood pulp. So we just call it viscose lycra. Yeah, cotton pointel will also work. It must not be too thick, but it will work. I love linen or cotton linen mix. Oh, me too. If it's knitted, we're talking about making undies. But yes, cotton linen or linen is beautiful. That's also my favorite. I don't particularly like rayon mix, like rayon linen mix. I find it too sloppy. And then you also get, I've recently found it, linen slop. Oh my goodness, it's a slop. I don't like working with it. Oh, capris. Yes, that will work. Did I miss somebody saying making capris? Let me just see. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, Michelle said, I'm batch cooking today and I'm enjoying watching you sewing. I make bags and quilting usually. I want to make a dress too for Valentine's Day. Oh, nice. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I don't know how to do it. I know. Won't you, if you want to, you don't have to, if you so my email address, you can find it in my about this page. If you made a dress for Valentine's Day, don't you want to send me a photo? And then with your email, when you send me the email, just say I don't want my face to show. So then I will put a little smiley face over your face. And then I'm going to do a little short of everybody's Valentine's dresses. I think that could be so much fun if you want to. Let me know. Send me an email. I would love that. I don't know if you would love it. Okay, I did miss. You know that. Yesterday I'm sitting chatting to my sister and my friend. So now my sister comes up with something and she's like, yes. And she just rambles on about something completely different. Both my friend and I, we look at each other and we look at Surika and I'm like, sorry, what are you talking about? Oh, she said, no, sorry, I have half the conversation in my head. So, and you are busy doing half the conversation in your head. Oh, but yes, pants in linen, oh, it's the best. I just love it. It is so nice to have linen pants. My favorite pair of linen pants is actually wearing through, and I'm dreading the day when I have to throw them out because they are so comfy. And yes, I could make more, but I love that pair. Did you see, did I catch it? Nope, I thought so. Okay. Underwear. Sorry, it's I know the Brits use it a lot, knickers, and in South Africa we use panties or knickers depending on who you talk to. I'm so silly. I do these, and every single one that I finish, because now it's the other side of the little flag or the bunting, I get so excited, like, oh yeah, another one is done. Sometimes all I can do is just laugh at myself. It's all the small things that makes me happy. It's like when England people say jumpers, I call sweaters. A jumper to me is a sleeveless dress that goes over a top, usually made from wool blends or corduroy. Now that is a pinafore. A jumper is a jersey, or we call them jerseys in South Africa. You call them sweaters. The English people call them, or people from England call them no, what did I call them? Yeah, jumpers. And the type of dress that you are describing is called a pinafore in South Africa. And we used to, like in the beginning it was made out of wool, later on they made them out of some synthetic fabric, but lots of the school dresses, so every school will have its own uniform, and they usually have a jumper over a white or a yellow shirt, which is, I think, is so ugly. One of my schools had a yellow shirt. Oh, it was so ugly. Oh, I think that's where I got my, not hate, but my dislike for yellow. Whoa. No, we had some seriously bad school clothes because we moved a lot, so I had the beautiful experience of wearing different school uniforms to different schools, because in South Africa we wear school uniforms. Oh my goodness, some of them. And then we had this horrible crimpoline panties that we had to wear, or underwear, or knickers. Oh, they were like huge. I know that these knickers, they would like come up past your navel, and they looked like knickers, but if you had them on, they formed like a little leg. They were horrible. It weren't hot pants or anything, short, like ski pants. They were just horrible. I refused to wear mine, and I would always get into trouble at school because they would do inspections and see if you have your knickers on. Especially with the little kids, not the bigger ones so much, but oh my gosh, those were no fun. Yeah, and I think the Australians have other words as well for things. Our uniform was a wool blend pinafore, blue, white and grey in grade school, up to 7th grade. Then we went to skirts. I had to wear a skirt in 5th grade because the pinafore wasn't big enough in the bust. Oh, you poor thing. Yeah, like tights. Oh, did you feel different from your friends, or did you feel special? Tights are leggings, you're right. and tights are stockings. So what we call tights in South Africa is like stockings in other countries. I remember saying to my one friend from America, now I'm going to get myself some printed tights, and she's like, you get them everywhere. I'm like, no. And then in the end, when I sent her a photo, she's like, oh no, that's stockings. So I've checked the signal on the beach is really good. So we will go and do a beach walk this week, and I will show you guys the beach and all the surfers and the kite surfers and Table Mountain. I hope you can see it with this phone because the camera is okay but not great. Stockings are with a suspender belt. Oh my goodness, we really don't speak the same language. So we also have pantyhose. So stockings with us is like the thick one, but then pantyhose is the see-through one. See you just now, Grace. I hope you're making us some coffee. irritating fly here and it keeps on sitting on my head. It is so frustrating having stuff sitting on my head. I can't stand it. Okay, you can just inspect these and make sure that I caught everything. Oh. This one, is this one okay? Yep. See that Anne left us a message. Oh yeah, be glad you're in winter because you don't have flies at the moment. Flip. I think it needs some doom. Let me go and get the bug spray. It's okay. It's okay, infant. Don't need to get up, boy. Until Wednesday. So this is our bug spray. There's different ones, but this is the one that most people know, and it's called Doom. So it's a tin of doom for every. It's doom for all the bugs. Oh, I missed this one. Let's just sew it quickly. Yep. So in the end, there were those smaller triangles. So I just went ahead and I cut them. I gave them some partners as well. So we have 25 little flags. And I think between them and the doilies, there's going to be enough. I know, but I've actually just been sitting here doing it while I'm chatting to you. You guys, it's actually amazing how much you can get done when you don't think about it. I've just realized why I'm missing spots. My needle was not in the middle, it was on the side. So there's a lot of floor space here. What I'm going to do is put my ribbons down tomorrow, not tonight, and lay it all out between the doilies and the little flags, and then just put a pin where each one needs to go onto this ribbon. So like I said earlier, there was a place that used to make tassels and fringes and all the ribbons in the previous town where I was living, in East London, and I think this I actually found in the dumpster. We went dumpster diving with a friend. Yes, I also, it's so irritating when you don't realize that the needle is to the one side. So then I found all this ribbon, and I'm trying to use it up. Like I said yesterday, I'm really trying to use my scraps and my stash. Because I think we all have that problem, that we have a big stash of stuff. And it's not bad because most of us use up our things or use the things that we have. But I'm just trying to reduce it a little bit so I have more space so that I can get space in my shelves. Just between us. That I can get space in my shelves to get a few more pieces of fabric. But I'm not allowed to do that until I finish some things. I actually find it really satisfying if I give myself a goal or a rule, like I'm not going to buy fabric unless it's for a specific occasion and I don't have it in my stash, or like I've spoken about it a while ago, that for Christmas I'm going to, I think I spoke about it at school, I'm going to give myself some fabric. And I put some money aside, but I just haven't had a chance to go to the shops. Well, with my back, that money that I put aside has gone, but it's okay. I'm saving up again. And there's a specific piece of linen in this one shop that I really want to go and get. It is good to have control over the stash. It really just takes away some of the stress for me. I know some people are. The happier, the more stash they have, the happier they are, but I'm not like that. I get really stressed if there's too much stuff, and I know, and you know, all of the stuff in my stash, I have ideas for it. So now the stress is of, I have these ideas, but I don't do it, you know, and that makes it even worse. So I like to, not that I can say anything because I've got a big stash, I know a lot of it was given to me and some was for my shop. But still, I like it when I don't have too big a stash. Just cutting so we can flip them over. Alexandra, sometimes I have to buy fabric I love in case it sells out, because if I love it, I think everyone else does. I know, I also do that. But I did, by doing that, I did end up with fabric that I didn't like in like 5 years. So that is why I'm much more careful. So something that I'm busy learning is trading. And with trading, you have to set yourself some rules and then stick to those rules, because there's so many things that's going on and there's so many trading plans that you can follow. So even if it looks like it's the right entry, if it's not adhering to those rules, you don't do it. So I've started setting myself some rules for sewing. So if I come across a piece of natural fiber fabric, not necessarily viscose, because viscose you can find most of the time, but if it's like a printed linen or a beautiful woven linen or a silk or cotton, then firstly, that's the first thing. Then the second rule is it needs to be really at a good price. If it's not at a good price, unless I have a purpose for it and it's for a specific thing, I'm not allowed to buy it. So the first rule is natural fiber. Second rule is it needs to also, I need to know that it's not really, second rule is it needs to be at a really good price. And then my third rule is if it's not readily available, sometimes you come across something and you know you've never seen it anywhere before, that I would spend money on. So those are my 3 rules, and since I started sticking to it, it's much easier. And also, like when I was in America, there were some things I could not find in South Africa, and so I did buy it for that reason, because I know I've needed it so many times and I just couldn't find it. So big stash, my big stash, I have like, I might give you a tour of my stash when just for a live in the future. But I have a big shelf full of fabrics. Then I have 3 crates under my cutting out bench full of scraps and like big things like foam and batting and stuff like that. Then under my cutting out table, I've got 4 crates. The one have like wedding fabric from when I still did weddings, and fancy fabrics for matric dance dresses and stuff like that, and embroidered fabrics. That is in the one crate. Then the next crate have all my wools in it, because that you have to look really well after. And then the next crate, what is it? Oh, all my tablecloths and fabric, embroidered fabrics. So I love making things out of tablecloths. I used to use a lot of that for my shop. And so those ones I also have. And that is my stash. And then I have like all my haberdasheries in my other room in baskets. And I've got buttons. I have a lot, but I've seen people who have got lots more. And I do have lace. Those are in some of the boxes. Then I have 8 boxes of sewing patterns. I used to have much more, but I did come down with it. So yeah, that is my stash. It's quite big. Then I have a fleece that I need to spin up. Fleece and a half. No, actually I've got, yeah, fleece and a half. And I have 2 sweater quantities of yarn in England, which I still have to get here. Oh, in England I've got a suitcase full of fabrics and a roll of fabric. And then underneath there I've got like 12 rolls of fabric. Some of them are still quite big, like this, that's which I use for my shop. And then some are smaller. And I think that's it. Rickrags is in one box. Laces, like inset laces, is another little container like this. Antique buttons in one box. So yeah, I really have a big stash. I feel guilty about it. But part of it was for my shop and part of it was given to me. So I am going to protect, I'm going to say that. Let's just make sure. Okay. We have just you got coffee! Yay! And Madeline Hills. Hi Madeline, welcome. Yeah, so I do feel guilty about my big stash, but like I said, I'm working on using it all up. I think I have enough for a lifetime, but anyway, I use a lot also for orders. Hi Diane, it is cold and breezy here, but it's sunny, nice. So I have time tonight. Would you guys like to stay a bit longer? I can do about half an hour longer than usual. And because I still want to turn these around. So actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it on. If you need to go, that's fine. If you want to stay a bit longer, you're more than welcome. We are now going to cut the ends and flip them over, because then they're ready to be ironed. And then I can sit and iron them tomorrow. I see Diane left us the other sewing for a few more hours today. Okay. 19 tomorrow. Oh, thanks Diane from Silver Thread Sewing. It's okay. You're more than welcome. I'm glad you could make it. But I do think I'm just going to sit here. Whoever stays, nice. If you can't, I also understand. Because I need to do this anyway before I go to bed. So, bedtime is in about an hour and a half. So I'm just going to sit here and do this. Yes, 6 p.m. my time. So then usually I finish at 7 p.m. and then it's almost bedtime. But it is Saturday and I do want to finish this quickly. So I can just iron them tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's 6 p.m. my time, is 4 p.m. your time. This one. Hi, Ethan. Let me see if I can get this. Come here. Come here, Chase. Chase. Come here, boy. Oh, come here. I'm going to show you the people. Come here. This is Chase. He's got the sweetest little face. Isn't he gorgeous? And then, this is Ella. Come, Ella. Good girl. Is it Ella? I always get her name wrong. Yes. And this one is Ella. She's too cute. They really do sweet Yorkies. Almost noon there. Okay. Yeah, you're about 7 hours behind us, if I remember right. I know, they're adorable. And then Ethan is a big white Alsatian. And now that he's got his knee, because they grew up with him, and then they were with somebody else for a bit, but now they're back. And he's so excited to have them back. You must see him. It's like a big brother. So, and he's like, I think he's 8. So for Alsatian, that's old. Yes, I'm now sitting. Those two are too cute. And so he's so excited to have them, and they're licking each other and playing tug of war, and it's too cute. Yeah. And him and Ella are constantly licking each other's ears. I find it so icky, but it's okay. It makes them happy, let them do it. So for now, I'm just flipping them, and afterwards I'll take my big scissors, keep them closed. I actually have a rubber that goes over the edge because they are fancy Nancy ones that my friend imported. And then I can just push out the ends. Just be careful when you push. So what I do is I cut the ends like that, and then just cut it a bit narrower. But be careful if you use scissors to push out the ends. So because you cut them already, sometimes they can pull out. But for now, I'm just using my finger to flip them all. Even, then I started licking. They literally go into this trance, and oh my gosh, it is just so irritating. My golden retriever used to lick like that so obsessively. I feel like a school teacher at this moment, peeking over the edge of my glasses. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just finish cutting and flipping all of these, and then I will leave you. But there's still a few to do. Because like I said earlier, with having the supper with all the friends yesterday, we went to bed quite light. Your daughter had a Yorkie that would lick me to death. If you didn't watch her, she'd lick your nose, mouth and ears. Now these ones are also, when I got here, they tried that, but they're actually so good. Oh my gosh, they're good. So they came and then they licked me in my ears, my face and whatever, and I just said, I held them away and I licked them in the eyes and I said, no, no licking. So then they tried again and then I go, they're so clever. Now Valentino also likes to lick your ears. I don't let him. Oh, I missed this end. Michelle, I buy curtains and duvets, vintage and modern, from charity shops. I take curtain tape off before washing and also get the cotton lining. There is so much here in the UK and fantastic prices. It's the best. I know. Oh, I found some beautiful curtains and duvets when I was there. It's so we can kind of find them here, but by the time you find them here, they're really icky. So my vintage tablecloths and things comes from people who give up their houses, and then they would just give it to me and their kids who have to clean up their said houses. So I'm very thankful for that. We did find some when I was in England. Those ones sadly are still in my suitcases in England. And yeah, then I also got some of my granny's things. But I'm really contemplating maybe doing a market or two and just making stuff for it. The only problem with that is you make it and then they don't sell. So I'm still deciding what to do. But yeah, the stuff I could find in the UK was just amazing. And you know what I also found interesting is you sometimes can find like linen and 100% cotton and oh no, there's amazing things. Also in America I found some nice things, but I found better things in the English charity shops. I've seen there's quite a controversy about Goodwill at the moment. Evening. Okay. Thanks for visiting, Diane. I appreciate it. Go and enjoy your grandkids. Oh, have fun. Vintage tablecloths in the UK. Anyone know where I can find some? Apart from Katinka suitcases. Oh, that's funny, Alexandra. I used to find them at the auction houses quite a lot. So if you can find an auction house close to you, you can, people don't know what they were, or they don't really buy them. So you can just put in your bed, I can't remember what you call it, but you can just put in whatever you call that, and then usually you get them. And also at the charity shops, if you go to their linens, there's often some really nice ones among the linens also. Because I found at the linens, you know where the curtains and the stuff is? I found some vintage tablecloths there as well. And sometimes I would just use embroidered serviettes and sew them together. They also work well. But, oh, thank you. Language. Today my words are escaping me. Yeah, the auction rooms were actually really good for that. But yeah, I don't know if you have one close to you. Sometimes you can also find them on eBay, but I find them quite expensive on eBay. And yeah, people are buying them up just to resell them, and that makes me angry. I know people have to make money, but it's just like, you're not going to use them. You don't really think they're worth it. And then they make the prices really high for the rest of us. Anyway, that's just my gripe. What did I see today that I thought I wanted to talk to you guys about? Oh, I was sitting chatting to a friend today, and we were talking. He was asking me what I do, and I told him I'm a seamstress, blah blah blah. And he said, yeah, he finds it interesting. Auction rooms, I've never done. Oh, okay. He says he finds it interesting how people are just buying from Shein in those places and how cheap a lot of people's clothes look. And how they will go to like the apartment stores. No, not apartment. The like you've got TJ Maxx and those ones. We have places like Woolies and Edgar's and what's the other one? Truworths. And their things are really expensive. And so you can easily pay at like 800 rands for a dress. Easy in one of those places. So if I make a dress for someone, it's about 800 rands. Maybe it's depending on the fabric, sometimes a little bit more. What is it in pounds? Pounds, I would say. It's about 80 pounds and maybe about $100. No, it's not that much. It's about 40 pounds. Yeah, about 40 pounds and maybe about $50. So for then a beautifully made dress in usually a good quality fabric. And so he said, so because he does gutters for places, he said, so I understand that you really sometimes struggle with your business. And I said, I actually do. And I'm in a place now where I don't just take up anybody. I kind of have interviews. People don't know I have an interview, but I have interviews with my potential clients. And then I decide if I want to work for them. Because I'm tired of doing all this work. I mean, it's literally, you know how long it takes to make a dress. And then they're like, oh no, you're asking too much. So this is something this year I really want to work on, is to charge the right prices for what I do. Because often I give it away for basically free. I work for less than minimum wage on that field. I do better with life coaching and that stuff. I do get more. But it was so interesting how this man he loves a good, make him sign a price agreement. Yeah, no, I don't work for just anybody. I kind of have, like I said, I have a process of figuring out who's going to be willing to pay the price and who not. And I also tell people before, and this is what it's going to cost. And then I also started with certain people, I take a deposit just for my safety. And also if I have to go buy fabric, then I do take a deposit. But it was interesting that this man he's just my friend's husband, and he shops, but he doesn't really notice stuff. And that he noticed, because somebody walked past us and he said, I hate it how a lot of people really look cheap lately. And I piped up and I said, yeah, it's because everybody buys at Shein and Timo. And then we went down this whole rabbit hole, and it was quite interesting. So I thought I would ask you guys for this. Does any of you sew for other people? And if you do you charge what it's worth? Or do you feel guilty to charge what it's worth? If you sew for your family, that's a different story. I usually don't charge my family. But yeah, for non-family members. The best thing is when people come to me and like, oh, but I'll buy the fabric, so then it will be cheaper. So, free. Oh, Grace. So now what I do is I say to them, okay, buy the fabric, and then I just up my price because it's still going to be a mission. And yeah, because sometimes when I buy the fabric, I do put a bit of a markup because I have to drive and buy the fabric. But yeah, making stuff for people is sometimes not as easy as everybody thinks. Do you mend, alter for others? Not sew a project. Ooh, that's a good one, Grace. I do mend and alter for other people. Yes. For anyone else. They have no idea how much it's worth. Bless them, sort of. I like that, Alexandra. I like that. I would make like a little, like a little bag or so. And for some people I will sew, the ones I know that will appreciate it. Like my one friend in America, she loves it when I sew for her. She literally wears my clothes for years, until it falls apart. So I would always sew for her. So Grace, Diane says, I have hemmed so many pants for people. I don't charge, but most always give me a little for doing it. I have been saying no lately. Yeah, I agree. It sounds bad, but sometimes I find alterations eats into my sewing time. So sometimes I do take them on, But like for my family and my so on, I will do it. But I did tell you about that situation where I was doing alterations. Um, they're not always, no, they're not fun. I was doing alterations for a family member and she didn't even say thank you. And then after that, I thought, that's it. I'm done, not doing that again. And ghosted me afterwards. So, and I drove to deliver it for her. That to me was the worst. Didn't say thank you. You were rude to me when I delivered your stuff. And then you ghosted me. Nope, that doesn't fly in my book. Yeah. Thank you is enough. I look, if I sell for, if I do alterations by order, that's a different story. But sometimes I would say to somebody, like there's a hole in their dress, I would say, I'll fix it for you. And I'll do it with all the love in my heart. But then, when they treat me like that, then I feel a bit like I ate something horrible. But yeah, if it's not part of your job, like Grace, then, and Diane, then it gets to, yeah, that's a good point. It gets to a point where if you keep on doing it for everybody, then it literally takes away from your sewing time. And between doing your household and looking after your animals and just trying to survive with life, there's not that much sewing time. So it's sacred. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I also have friends who, whenever I do stuff for them, like, no, don't pay, it's fine. And they would always, I mean, the one always brings me the nicest Lindt chocolate, or she used to. Or she would bring me a little Kit Kat. She's so sweet. I must actually contact her. I miss her. Yeah, my friends in the area where I used to live, they were amazing like that. We have just done the last one. We're going to quickly push out the points with the scissors. I want to show you how I do that. So I have, oops, got stuck on the towel. I have these scissors like this, and that point I find really works well for the points of the flags, but that point's really sharp. So it came with this little rubber. So what I do is I put that over, and then I just push out the points. Cook. And that happened, which I was worried about. Let's see if another one works better. I might have to go and zigzag it because this fabric is actually quite finicky. That's a bummer. This might just turn into a bigger job than I thought. Let's try the next one. Okay, so you will have to be sewn again. Another way of pushing out the point is to take your needle or your pin and just work it out. So use the fabric that is stronger. I'm using the cotton side. The other side is woven strangely. And then just pull out your point. Okie dokie, first one is done. Next one. I'm going to push it as far as it wants to go. And then pull it out with my pin. Ooh, I need to pick up the water. The doggies are not allowed to get water after 7 o'clock because then they wee in the house. I feel so bad because I like to drink water at night. I don't know how to do this to the doggies. Okay, this is going to be much bigger of a job than I thought. So I think I'm just going to say goodbye. I really appreciate all of you staying here and visiting with me. It's been so much fun. Tomorrow we will be at same time, same place. And for my Australian friends, on Monday, we will have an early morning one. So I think it's 6 o'clock South African time. Should be a decent time in Australia. I'll go and look it up and see what will work for you guys, and I'll let you know what time I will have it live. And for the rest of you, thank you. So on Monday, please watch the replay if it's okay with you guys. And then on Tuesday, so tomorrow is this time, and then on Tuesday it will be this time again. Have a good night, Katinka, and have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Diane. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next one tomorrow, same time. Bye.